be really helpful if I turn my mic on. Hello to anybody who got the message that we're going to be starting a little bit late today. It's been a crazy weekend, but welcome to everybody who's coming out. I just want to make sure that I don't see my other video capture coming up. So I just want to make sure that's working the right way. Let's go here, and then let's go here, see if that helps. Yep. There it is. That's my little buddy right there. That's Duncan. Say hi, Dunk. He's like, bro, let me just sleep. So let me just move this over. So I'm not really playing any games today. It's been a while since I did Mental Magic Monday. I think it's been about 2 weeks. Sorry, just getting myself reacquainted with everything here. The last time I did it, I was sorting out my magic cards, which is a part of the theme, obviously. Sorry, I am all kinds of disheveled coming off the weekend today. So yeah, it's not really specifically like Magic the Gathering related. It's more about every stream that I do integrates my integrative nutrition training as well as my wellness and my fitness expertise, amongst other things. That's why my title is Polymathic Dad. Because I have knowledge in many different fields, and the point of this stream is to really share that and bring the information that I have to everybody else. I do have a side business that's my I'm trying to get started right now. It's Balancing Vitality LLC. If you Google it, you'll find it, or if you go to Balancing Vitality LLC on Instagram, Facebook, and on Twitter, it's BAL Vitality LLC. You'll find the information about that. Haven't been too active because I'm trying to kind of reconstruct my programs. I think I was kind of shooting for the stars with, the program setups that I had before. And so I'm reworking some of that stuff, some of my pricing structures and things like that to be a little more even and balanced. So if you're interested in that, obviously check that stuff out. But so this channel kind of integrates all of that. I'm a holistic health coach. I am a wellness coach, a life coach, a fitness coach, kind of all encompassing everything. That's the point of holism. And I fully believe that balance is the key to everything, and I fully believe that everybody can achieve their perfect level of balance in life. Now, what does that mean for you? It can mean anything. It can mean that, maybe you're not interested at all in diet and nutrition. Maybe you're not interested at all in fitness. Maybe you're not interested in everything else besides those. Who knows? The thing is, if there's something that's off or something that you feel that you just can't catch up, you can't keep up, you can't, kind of get a hold of, then there's an imbalance somewhere. And what my job is to, talk to you and help you figure out where that imbalance falls. And sometimes it's something and you just kind of need to hear it or hear some tips about it or go about it a certain way. And sometimes it takes just an outside resource to, get that information and get that going, Sometimes you need to go deeper. I have a lot of 6 month programs that have been very successful because of how deep we can go, from meeting once a month to meeting 4 times a month if you want. Going deeper and deeper every week, working on your goals, working on your aspirations and your real life goals, whether it is dietary stuff or nutrition, or I hate the word diet personally. Or lifestyle or anything like that. Like I said, it could be something simple, but you never know. And that's, I have a gift for finding those imbalances and kind of helping to work those out. It's almost an obsession. Sorry, I'm just getting a bunch of messages about my son's an appointment my son has later today. All right. So yeah, my themes are starting with today, Mental Magic Monday. And, or Mentality Magic Monday, whatever. We can change that up. I feel like I should because mental magic can mean a lot of things. So let me just there you go. Oh, I should add in the dog cam too. Oops. There you go. Done. Um, it's about anything that, like anything that you like coming off the weekend, going into the work week, or, coming off your work week, going into the weekend, or maybe you're in the middle of your week. There's all kinds of different situations that are going on. Me personally, I just got off of work this morning. I work overnights at a animal ER, and this past weekend was absolutely bonkers. Like there was no other way to put it. It was insane. And it was a stressful weekend. I did not sleep well for most of last week and this week, for various reasons. And I just find in my personal life, my personal and professional life, that, there's so many things going on and so many elements and so many pieces and whatever that it can be crazy overwhelming. But the fact that I myself, with ADD, ADHD, and OCD, can maneuver my way through these situations with 3 kids, with 2 very sick in-laws, and our pets and the stress from work and everything else and crazy alternative schedules between me and my wife. And that's really what I want to bring to the table for you guys. Anything that you want to talk about or that you feel like you need to let out or you need to talk about, this is your place to do it. And whether you feel comfortable or not doing it in, a Twitch kind of setting or in whatever, there's multiple ways to get in touch with me, and to just hit me up and chat and see what you think, Let me just start up my mobile dashboard so I can see what's going on. I think I broke it when I had to sign off and sign back on because my stuff wasn't working, 1,000%. And I wanted to give a shout out to Bestest Crow as well. Thank you for the follow. Yoda Andrea, also thank you for the follow. Yeah, so basically I have themes every day. I have Mentality Magic Mondays, where it's supposed to be magic related. I play Magic the Gathering, and I also, play Pokemon. I play a bunch of different card games. I play card games online and in paper. I prefer paper because it's manipulative. It's, it's something tactile. I'm able to focus with it a lot better than I am to pay attention with stuff online. Things like that. The theme can also carry over to video games in general, where if it's magic related or if it gets your mind working or, some sort of aspect like that. That's the key of Mentality Magic Monday. If you're looking for help for something and I can give you some quick pointers or, we can just talk about things and I don't have to sit here and coach you or anything like that. We can just have a friendly conversation about it, or get some ideas from the community. This community is a welcoming community. I'm building it so that it is inclusive for everybody. The only thing that I demand in my chat is that, or that I demand in my community is that there's no hatred, there's no bias, there's no, healthy debate is one thing, but if there's issues, then, I would have to take a look at that, obviously. But overall, we're inclusive, we're welcoming, and that's the community that I want to surround myself with. That's the community I want to build, with everybody that's out there watching. So that's Mentality Magic Monday. Then I have Try Hard Tuesday, which is just kind of like a fun let loose type of thing for me. And hopefully you guys get some varied entertainment out of it. It's mostly like first person shooters. It's games that I find that I either used to be really good at or that I'm just for whatever reason terrible at. And I just kind of play, mess around, get some practice with it, and, go from there. Um, Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I apologize. Sorry about that. Um, so that's the basis of Try Hard Tuesday, and the mentality theme about it is anything that you've been trying hard to, fix up or work on or anything like that, and you just can't seem to get past a block or whatever. It's something to just share with everybody and hang out and talk and hopefully be entertained a little bit. And then we have Wacky Wednesday and or Whacked Out Wednesday, either one. And I chose that for Wednesday because, I'll play like games that I think are comedic or funny or, just wacky in general. And, it's Wednesday's usually a funny day for people because it's usually either, in my case, the middle of my weekend or in others' cases, the middle of their week. Um, so I find it to be a weird, I always use this symbol as like you're getting used to your work week and then it kind of starts coming down on Wednesday and you're getting into your weekend. Or for me, you're getting into your weekend, then Wednesday hits and you have to get ready to go back to work. So it can be a weird mental day. It's usually the day where I find that I'm fully mentally recovered from work and like, regardless like regardless of what happened, whether it was good or bad. It's just the day where I become stable, in my weekend. And, I find that I have like a lot of uh, ideas and a lot of, stuff like that that just kind of pours out of my head. And, I have, I think it's a good time for everybody to just get reinvigorated a little bit and, re-energized and like, really hang out and have a good time. So that's what I look for on Whacked Out Wednesdays. Um, and then we have Throwback Thursdays, which is, playing older games from years and years ago or older games from the past. I always take suggestions for anything that you guys want to see me play on any of the days. It doesn't matter. But I like Throwback Thursday because it gives me the potential to get to know you guys even deeper and get to know you guys better. We talk about memories. We talk about, positive things that happened in our past. It doesn't have to be positive, but, it's cool to keep it on an upbeat note. But feel welcome to share anything that you need to. And that's pretty much that. The past couple of Throwback Thursdays has been Day of the Tentacle. It's probably going to be the same thing this Thursday. I might switch it up, um, you know, but we'll see where it goes. Like I said, I always take recommendations and stuff. Sometimes you got to take a break from a game. Sometimes it's whatever. And from Throwback Thursdays we go into Fix It Fridays. And the point of Fix It Fridays is like kind of the Wednesday thing, but Friday is the day before everything happens. You either go into your weekend or, like me, you start your work week. And Fridays are kind of a day I think is important to take for reflection, because everybody's, if it's the end of your work week, you're kind of in this mentality where you're like, it's done. It's the weekend. I can't wait to go home, And that's a key time to really consider what's going on and think about things. And, you don't have to get crazy with it. It could just be a good time, but it's a good time to kind of just sit with yourself and, what are my goals? What do I want to do? What do I, do I want to go hang out for the weekend? Do I want to start a business? Do I want to go to the beach? Do I want to, it could be up, down, sideways. It doesn't matter. It's a day to reflect on your goals, on things that you're working on or have worked on during the week, and a day to celebrate those things. And usually I'm kind of IRL, like fixing things either, with the stream, or like putting ideas into place, coming up with ideas for the stream, or manually like fixing things. Like the first Fix It Friday I was fixing like a bunch of furniture and stuff like that, and just kind of talking with people in the chat as time went on. So we try to have a good time here, and as this becomes more of a permanent situation for me, I'll expand it to Saturdays and Sundays, doing a little something here and there. And the main goal is just to have fun. It's just to have fun, have a good time, be able to share and connect with people that are like myself. I find it very difficult to find a community that suits me well. I find it multiple sporadic communities. So I figured, what the hell, build your own, it's, being the type of person that I am, from so many different disciplines, and, my upbringing versus my mentality now and things like that. In my past, I was born on a very, like redneck, blue collar kind of mentality and old school thinking in a lot of ways. And from the point where I was as a child, I never knew why I really felt very uncomfortable all the time, and had a lot of stress in my head all the time and in my body, and just didn't know how to be myself really. And, I was diagnosed with ADHD, ADD, and OCD as a young child. And, for the most part, we try to work it out. I was on medications and stuff. That's all conversation for another time. But, I've talked about it in the past, and it's just not the point of today. So, through all of this stuff, I learned different ways that I had to associate with people. And I learned different ways of like how to get to know people, and how to, understand things on the fly, and how to sort of just work with the world, and that's not really the thing I want to go for this. Let's see what this is. So yeah, and I think that knowledge of having outside the box thinking to manipulate and maneuver through the world, and, find my place and really understand where I belong and where I'm coming from and where I'm going, is the key to everything that I've been doing. It's the key to my life's work, which is helping people find their balance. And it's, all inclusive, mental, physical, spiritual. Like you can't leave anything out if you want to be fully there. You know what I mean? And like I said, I'm the father of 3 kids. I'm happily married. I have, in-laws that we live with that need a lot of care on various different issues that they have going on. So it's just a lot of craziness and a lot of activity, but I feel like if anybody else was given this, it would be way too overwhelming. It's overwhelming for me, but because of my abilities as a multitasker, as somebody who can learn very quickly on the fly, as long as it's certain ways, I've figured out how to fit in my fitness, my meditations, my mentality training, and how to work in these little things throughout the day just to make every day better and more balanced and more connected. There's major things too, and some things are, build up to those major things, but it's all relative. It all fits together. It's all a big balance. So, I find myself at a crossroads. I was taking my integrative nutrition training, and it's very nature based, and it's very like organic and natural, and the whole body, mind, and spirit works together and everything. On the other side of that, which some people might think is an opposite, is I also love video games. I love technology. I love computers and game systems and things like that, and I find it fascinating. I think it's, rather than something to be necessarily opposed to, which sometimes you need a break. Sometimes you need a break from your phones, your tablets, your computers, your games, everything that we're surrounded by constantly. You need a break, and you need to go on a nature hike. You need to go on a walk somewhere, go to the beach, and just shut everything off and, do what you got to do. But I think technology also very much has its place in our everyday lives. I do think that it's very capable of making our lives better. It gives us information. It gives us music. It gives us new mediums to connect with people that we normally wouldn't have even met in our lifetime, and I think it has the capability to open our minds further than we would have otherwise, Sorry, I just noticed I had a message as well. And I just also want to make sure that my kids are okay at the same time. Sorry about this. This is the ADHD coming in, but like I said, rather than seeing that as a disability, which it used to be classified as, I believe it's more of a superpower. And I think it's, I've had to grow and adapt this mentality of really, like, the most important thing I could possibly have learned in my lifetime is when to shut things out. And I learned that by just feeling out who I was, and that you won't get that right away when you're starting out on this journey. It takes a very long time to understand who you actually are. And people think that's, such an easy thing, and it's really not. Especially when you grow up in so many different ways where, your traditional family, you have things that are told to you from birth, and you just believe them, And you think things are one way, then you learn that they're another way, or what have you, and it's hard to break away from all of that and just feel and even recently, sorry for that little vocal thing or whatever. Even recently, I've started discovering things about myself that I think it's just, my place in the journey to learn these things. And it just amazes me how I didn't know who I was, And I think that was the main reason why, like, my digestion was always off, and I couldn't concentrate on anything. And, I got to hating myself at one point, and I didn't feel like I was worthy of any sort of, companionship or brotherhood or anything like that. I felt like I was a misfit in a world that everything else made sense except for me. And what I've come to find out, just in being with myself and being mindful of the things that I felt both in my mind and my body, and how I felt at what times, and things like that. Fun fact, I was also a behavior specialist for disabled children and disabled adults. And through that, and through the observations that you learn in those fields, I found out that I was very good at that, and I found out that I can expand that to everything that I want to do in life. I can expand that to helping people, and I did that to myself, because that's really where you need to start, especially in a career like this, where you want to help others, and you want to be able to help balance out their life and do things with them and help them with their diet or fitness or whatever. Like, you really need to have an understanding for yourself of different things, and I think once I got that understanding, it was just like a light switch went on, you know? Like I was being told by so many people that, you know, you have to have one avenue for your career and that's it. Focus on that, laser focus, blah, blah, blah. And I kept hitting a wall. I kept just running into a wall and not feeling successful and not feeling like myself and constantly feeling like, you know, maybe I don't deserve this. Maybe it's just, I don't know, you know, maybe I'm not meant for this. And what I found out was I have the ability to really, you know, do multiple things. Like I don't have to be pigeonholed into one thing. I can expand that and include everything that I'm interested in, you know? And I think that's the way that works best for me. I'm used to that. I was born into that. I was raised in that. I was, you know, throughout my entire life, the series of hurricanes and emotional struggles and everything like that happened have fashioned me into this person where, you know, I used to, it's kind of a bad thing and kind of a good thing. And I'll explain in a second, but I used to refer to myself as a chameleon. That was going back to what I said before about, you know, learning people and learning how to associate with people and learning what goes where in the world and things like that in my own way. It's mainly to associate with people and to finally be considered like a normal person, you know? But once I accepted the fact that I'm surrounded by, you know, square holes and I'm a big old oval. Like I can be manipulated and moved and probably squeezed in somewhere, but my own fit is my own fit, you know? And I find that to be more of a blessing now. You know, when I started to appreciate the things about me that make me me and started in fully embracing my style and the things that I like to do and being able to cancel out all the other things that I was used to hearing and that were circling around in my head from my past and things like that. You know, I just felt better. I felt like a whole world was lifted off of my shoulders, you know? And there's nothing like it. You know, I can't imagine being any other way now. And I'm so amazed at how far I've come. And I'm so thankful for the opportunities that I've had to learn this and to be able to bring this to other people. You know, and I think that's all inclusive in what I want to bring to everybody, you know, and it's just, you know, it's really a blessing to be able to find that level of balance. Sorry, just found a little bit of dust. So a little bit about my weekend. Weekends at working at the animal ER are a little bit crazy. I don't know if they're better or worse than during the week. I feel like they're worse. Everybody's off. Everybody's celebrating. Everybody's doing things, you know, whatever. Everybody's hanging out for the weekend or whatever. But you know, there's a lot of mishaps that come into play with animals. There's, you know, drinking and driving. There's, you know, animals getting into chemicals and things like that they're not supposed to. Animals getting into foods that they're not supposed to. There's from A to Z, there's a whole list of stuff. And this past weekend was a lot. You know, when I went into work on Friday, it was just really busy from start to finish. You know, we hustled, we did everything we had to do, and we just, you know, we got through it. Saturday, we had what we call stat calls. We had 9 stat calls, which is insanity. It's when something like basically terminal comes in, like something's on its last leg and it needs immediate help and stabilization, you know? And it was just a stressful day. We had 9 of those along with 4 or 5 euthanizations, sorry. And, you know, for various reasons. And it was just a crazy, stressful night. And, you know, last night being Sunday overnight, you know, it was very busy. There was just there was like a house fire on Long Island. And the family had a lot of pets. They had 3 kids. They had, you know, a whole bunch of things going on. And they brought all of their pets to our hospital and I think they had like five cats, 3 dogs, a ferret, a chinchilla. All they brought them all in because they were all burned and stuff like that. We it took a lot to help them out, and we're still in the process of that. I'm going to post up on my social medias if I get the information for the family for people to donate or whatever. I'm going to try to do that because so many animals in such critical care. The hospital quoted them about 30 grand, and that's the price of like a car that they wanted them to drop as a down payment. It's very expensive, and this family needs a lot of help for various reasons. So it was just a very emotionally challenging weekend. After last week was a little bit crazy. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I didn't get that much sleep. Thursday night, I didn't go to sleep when I should have, so I was kind of like delayed from that. The past couple of weeks have been a heavy rotation. 2 weeks ago, my mother-in-law got into a car accident, so that was a lot of craziness with that. And, the only way to really get through this kind of stuff is to kind of be able to, in the moment, like control your shock mechanisms in your body, to be able to control your reactions, but let them happen at the same time, if that makes any sense. There's a lot of times I had to accept whatever was going on, I had to accept in certain moments. I need to breathe. I need to take a step back. There was times where, in the middle of an animal being on the table, if I was like holding the oxygen or whatever, I just kind of, looked around and restored my awareness, took a deep breath, just took everything in and let it flow through me without affecting me. There is a way to do it. We can get deeper into that one day if anybody cares to. But, that's one of my superpowers that I found crazy about what, being like me is I can have my, if you've ever seen the movie Street Fighter from back in the day, there was a guy that played E. Honda. And in the movie, he was getting whipped by this guy, another character in the game. I forgot who it was, but he was getting whipped by him. And whatever. It was a weird part of the movie. It had Jean-Claude Van Damme in it as Guile. But the guy was whipping him, and he had no reaction. He was just completely disconnected at that point. And, he was aware, and he was just picking his teeth, joking, laughing, And he had this friend with him that was also tied up in the same room, and he was like, dude, that looks painful. How do you do that? And he's like, I'm sumo, my brother. My mind can be somewhere, and my body somewhere else. And that's kind of what I feel was happening. Only instead of letting my mind wander to another planet elsewhere where it could easily daydream off to, I just took everything in, and it was kind of a magical moment to be able to feel like I was putting my brain almost in slow motion and just observing everything that happened. And what I get from moments like that is, especially taking a deep breath and just taking it in, and I really am able to look around, and my mind moves so quick that in that split second it could be like whoop, that I look around the room. But in that split second, I can be like, okay, these guys are over here laughing, and there's a successful case over here. They just saved this pet's life. This pet is now doing 100 times better than it was, a couple of days ago. And I can really go through and piece out each little piece of that. And yes, connect the negative, but also the positive. And that's important to do because our minds are automatically hardwired to go to the negative side of things. It's easier, it's more comfortable, it's the path of least resistance in your brain. And so we default to that a lot, and it's something that I took a long time to break away from because I can also default to that very easily, and I know that about myself. So I try to get good control over that. But that's why I'm very happy for the training that I have received, because it gives you such peace of mind and clarity, and to be able to see beauty in moments of utter darkness and depression is a powerful, powerful gift. And I used to not understand that. I used to not understand what people used to say when they talked about beauty and darkness. And to me, that's what that means. Even when everything else, the whole world feels like it's falling apart and there's buildings collapsing around you. Even if you're in an all-out sprint and a panic and whatever, there's still somewhere a beautiful, beautiful flower sitting there untouched. I can guarantee it. There's still a blue sky somewhere above you. There's always something to look at, and being able to have this ability like I do is magical. There's no other way to put it in my mind, because it saved me through so many different situations. I don't know how well, if you guys can see this, but I have cuts on my arm, and these, not cuts, scars. There's glass in my arm because of a car accident I got into when I was a teenager. And I actually was driving in the rain, and I went around this turn, and I hydroplaned at the point that I was turning. And when the wheels finally caught, they whipped back the other way. Like, I don't believe I overcorrected, but they whipped hard back the other way, and I slid sideways and nailed a tree on the driver's side. And everybody was saying, like, how'd you get out of the car? How'd you do it? Like, what happened? And, like that, it's almost like that moment when you do get into a car accident and you have that moment where everything stops. In that moment, I had the ability to slow down and observe everything that was happening. And that's when I really triggered my ADHD superpower, was because in that moment, I was like, you will die if you don't get out of this car. So I look around, and I'm getting my wits about myself, and I just observe the situation. Something's smoking in front of me. That's what I know. I know I have to get out of the car. So what I did was I was able to maneuver myself through the passenger seat, kick the door open, and exit the car that way. And I was able to walk up to the road. And, I had glass in my arm. I had, I was all bloody on this side. The airbag burned my face up pretty good. And the car was done. It was totaled. Everybody was telling me, like, if I had, gone like even a half inch further, my car would have just completely wrapped around the tree, and I would have not been here. But it's moments like that when I really appreciate what can happen, because, like, I have that power to say, like, in those desperate situations, like, I have the ability to take that control over my reaction, and I use that in moments of panic, in moments of stress, in moments of depression. I've been through moments where I felt like there was nothing left to live for. And in those times, to be able to channel that is beautiful, because I wouldn't be seeing my kids' faces. I wouldn't be seeing, my wife now, and having the job and the ability that I do now to help people and help animals and things like that. And to me, it really is a gift. So that is something that I use in other situations. Some people get a little bothered by it because they want you to give that reaction, because they think it's unnatural for you to not react in an emergency situation. And what they don't know is, in the back of my mind somewhere, I am reacting, but I am also making myself aware of what's going on in the moment so that I don't make a mistake. And that's a big, important thing. I've when I used to work at a disabled home with very violent teenagers, and I was one of the people that they used to call for takedowns, and they started talking to me a lot more, and they started saying, like, hey, do you want to give us a suggestion for this guy, or a suggestion for them, or whatever? Like, what do you see when you observe them when the whole situation's going down? And it could be something so small because, auditory processing, visual processing, sensory feedback in general is so different for these kids that the smallest thing, I might not even know it right away, but eventually after the third, fourth time it happens where we have to physically restrain somebody, from hurting themselves or somebody else. A couple of cases I noticed like a sound was triggering somebody. It was like the sound of like a fan on a computer starting up, something like that. Something about that person did not like. And that was enough to trigger their fight or flight, and they chose fight, And that ability to be able to do that in those moments has saved so many kids from having to take extra meds that they wouldn't have needed for like aggression and to help them calm down and things like that. Helps save the staff, helps save, the kid physically and not, have any risk of being managed or anything like that. We could do everything proactively from that point, So I took a lot of pride in that job. I took a lot of pride in being able to do that in those moments and being a level head when everybody else was getting frustrated and pissed off and burnt out and things like that. I did too. I fully understand it, and I don't judge anybody for it. But being able to do that, like I said, was able to save so much all at the same time that I'm thankful I was able to do that. So I would want to bring this clarity to everybody else. I would definitely want everybody else to be able to understand and feel this, and to be able to inspire and help you guys achieve that level of just awareness, even because that level of awareness can branch out to so many other things within your body, within your mind, within your spirit, things that you've been questioning that you didn't even know you were questioning, things that were off balance that you may not have noticed were off balance, and it's really just a powerful tool to have in your corner. I've never realized the power of mindfulness. I thought it was bullshit, to be honest, when I first started hearing about it. And now, like, I'm almost ashamed to have thought that way, but it was a part of my growth. So it's something I've accepted, learned from, and moved past, I just got a notification from Humble Bundle. Hack your life with $415 worth of guides from Adams Media. Play what you want and support a charity of your choice. I love Humble Bundle. I think it's such a great idea. Life hacks. We've heard them before. We know it's time to put words into action. And our new bundle, Get Life Smart and Fast, with Adams Media guides like life hacks and survival hacks. If you pay $25, you get over $415 worth of stuff. I am not paid from them. I just got the notification and my ADHD brain kicked in and said, that's cool. I like it. But they do everything. They have books. They have computer programs. That's how I edit most of my videos for YouTube and such. Learning to do better with that from programs that I've gotten from Humble Bundle. For $25, you really get your value in some of these bundles. They have game creation kits. They have all kinds of stuff. They have how to draw, things like that. And they'll come with programs and books and guides and stuff, things like that. But yeah, I just saw the notification on my phone. That's what made me think about it. I don't know why. My texting thing has been acting very weird today. I'm not sure why. But yeah, so and even in moments like when I'm gaming or when I'm just over everything, that happens to everybody. It used to be I can switch back and forth. I can bring my awareness when I want and let it go when I don't, and I think it's just a beautiful thing to have, and it teaches you so much about yourself. When you practice and learn your level of, or this level of mental awareness, or mental, physical, and spiritual awareness, you start noticing a lot of things that don't coincide with your life, what does coincide with your life, and what makes you feel better as a person. Over the last month, people were kind of bugging out thinking I was going through like a mental thing. I started wearing a lot of my old jewelry again. I started painting my nails again. I don't have them painted today because I'm going to do new colors today. I started wearing, my rings and stuff like that. And, my wife even noticed that I'm taking more pride in the clothes that I'm wearing. And I'm just like, my response to all that is I'm just going back to being me. I'm just letting it go. And if I feel like I want something, I also got my ears re-pierced because I used to have all this stuff, and it used to at one point make me feel good. I love weighty rings because I want more. I lost a couple of them. I'm not sure where. Some of them broke, whatever. But I love weighty rings because I'm a big guy. I'm 6'5". I'm 250 pounds. Maybe lighter than that. I haven't checked in a while. I don't know. But regardless, I'm strong. I'm a big guy. And, for me to feel my that's what, like a sensory feedback thing for me is, like this makes me feel, these make me feel like something's there. You know what I mean? It gives my body more spatial awareness of where it is in space in general. I bump into a lot of things. I used to get off balance a lot. And I've initiated a lot of things to make that better for myself. Like there was, I bought barefoot shoes. I've had problems with my feet since I was 17. Earlier than that, I lied. I apologize. I was born with my feet turned in, pigeon-toed, I think it's called. And so I had casts on my feet, and my mom was convinced that they took the casts off early. I have no idea. But the way my knees and stuff healed, my knees are kind of rotated off center and outward. My legs are bowed, on the bottom of my legs. And my feet and my legs get fatigued. I got plantar fasciitis, and I was having problems with it for a long time. I was paying $500 for shoe inserts, and now, I'm able to work 12-hour shifts at the ER on my feet all day, plus raising 3 kids, keeping up with my in-laws and my pets and stuff like that, and doing everything I got to do for everybody, just by reconnecting my feet to the ground and really appreciating that my body was, has my body through my childhood learned how to support itself the way it is. And if you work with your body, it can fix itself. These $500 inserts were hindering my feet. The padded shoes were hindering my feet because it just gave that tendon time to tense up, and there was nothing really, making my feet aware of what they were doing, So now that I am, I constantly feel my feet and I constantly move around. That's why I love my standing desk too. And it just, it works out my legs. It makes me feel better, and I feel more grounded, And like I said, with the rings, it makes, I feel weighted. I feel like there's something there, and not just having no idea of where I am in space and time. I had my earrings done just because, and I liked the way that looked. So I was like, whatever, I'm going to get them redone, And I used to paint my nails a lot too. And, well, not a lot. There was a couple of times. But I missed how they looked and how it felt to do that. So I was just like, whatever, man. I'm getting back into this flow where I'm doing things that I want to do without and canceling out any other thought process or anybody else's voice about it. I've gotten plenty of good feedback, as well as people giving me side eye like, why the fuck did you paint your nails? Because I felt like it, And it's just a very positive thing. It's a lot of good positive changes that are happening. And the more I do it, the more I'm feeling myself out and becoming more comfortable and growing more. And removing all these blocks is really creating clarity in my life and my mind overall, So I think Golf with Your Friends is free on Steam. I got to change my magnitude of how often I'm getting notifications from email and stuff like that. I don't know. It's sending them when the second I get them, and I got to have them do every like half hour or hour or something. But yeah, so that's where I'm at today. That's where I'm at now. I'm glad that I've had this opportunity, even though there's not that many people on my stream right now. I'm glad I had this opportunity to just kind of blurt all that out and let it out of my mind. It feels good. Going back to how my weekend was, coming off of the crazy night last night, the crazy weekend in general, and then, the shift last night, I kind of had to come home and my kids had to go to school. My daughter is the only one because she's 2 now, or going to be 2 in a couple months. So she takes sometimes 2 naps in a day. But I was like, I told my wife, I was like, I want to keep my stream time going. I want to stick with this stream time. This is the most consistent I can be. This is the time that's most free for me to do this, granted, if there's emergencies or something like that. And I said, I had to restructure my day because of how our schedules work out. Her schedule is crazy because she's like got a 16-word title at her job, and she's like a women's sports administrator, grounds administrator for a college. She's a volleyball coach, so she does the men and female team and stuff like that. And, she works her ass off. She does a lot. But sometimes that's 8 a.m. to 10 to 12 p.m., So during the week, I'm home with the kids, with the in-laws, with doing everything, the running around and stuff like that. And, the weekends are when I go in and she's home with the kids and the in-laws and everything. So obviously, like, I want to stick with streaming. I want to stick with the coaching. I want to do all that. And I want that to become my life rather than being employed at the hospital or wherever else. Places right now, especially in times like these, nobody gets paid for what they deserve. And I don't mean that as a cocky thing or like to think that I do more than I do, but the amount of stress involved and the amount of emotional taxing that it involves, and there's a lot of people dropping like flies just because it's such a stressful environment, and I want this to become my life. My dream and my passion is to help people, to inspire people, and I want to do that any means way, and any means that I possibly can. And I think that everything that I'm getting into place now is what's going to bring me there. So I'm excited. I'm excited to build this community. I'm excited to work with you guys. I'm excited to play with you guys and to like hang out and meet you guys, and finally get my group of people together. The group of misfits, the group of people who can't seem to relate or can't seem to like find that vibe with anybody else. Like I said, I'm a holistic gamer that, understands what it's like to be dirt poor, but also understands what it's like to want to put better stuff into your body, to treat your body better, to find ways to work out, to find ways to get your wellness together, to find ways to meditate. At the same time as having no time whatsoever with 3 kids, 2 in-laws, pets, animals, work, all this other crazy stuff. I am a meld of as many bipolar situations as you can possibly think of. And I feel a lot of pride with that. Excuse me. Yeah, so I said I wanted to do this. It was just a matter of switching up my schedule a little bit. Hopefully I'll be able to get some workout time later on. I doubt it, but I'm going to try. I woke up at 6 p.m. to go into work at 8 p.m. yesterday. And when I came home at 9, like usually my Mondays consist of being up for 24 hours and then going to bed at 6 p.m. when my wife gets home from work. But my son has an appointment tonight. So to make time for everything and to kind of fit everything into place where it needs to be, I took a little hour and a half nap this morning, stuck with my stream time and got everything together with that. Even though we're running a little bit late, because this is what I want to do. I want to stream. I want to be able to communicate with people. I want to be social with people. I want to help people. I want to inspire people. So just because I might have to start wrapping up soon. It's going to be time to get my son off the bus soon, and wake the kids up from nap and such. Yeah, so like I want to reach out to parents. I want to reach out to anybody really who's having an issue finding balance in their life, but also parents who are finding it hard to even get time to do something that you enjoy, whether it's by yourself or with somebody else. You know, dealing with the stresses of parenthood and things like that. You know, it brings its own world of problems on top of everything else. You have that many more lives to deal with. So literally, whatever stress you had can get multiplied, but it's also the joy of it too. And it's my job to help you guys find that joy, to help you guys get reinvigorated and feel good and have a good time. You know what I mean? So if there's anything that you guys want me to play, if there's anything you guys want me to talk about, if there's anything you guys would like me to share, you want to get in touch with me, please do so by following the links in my bio. You know, come and hang out on my Twitch streams. Generally, it's every day, every weekday from 1:30 to 3:30. Fridays, it's probably going to be in the mornings because I usually have to sleep, but we'll see how that goes. It depends on my wife's schedule. Trying to think what else about Fridays. Fridays, I'm getting together a little better. Last time I think I got like a little bit of a nap in, and it worked out pretty decently, but I was still a little bit tired, but you know, it is what it is. It'll get figured out. But yeah, so a Monday through Thursday at least is 1:30 to 3:30. Friday might be a little bit different. I might do a morning stream and try to take a nap in the afternoon before the kids get home, etc., etc. But we have our daily themes. We have everything set up. I'm going to keep updating the Twitch pages. I'm going to keep updating the YouTube channel as I go through my work weekend and the work week too. But as I go through the work weekend, I try to upload my streams as fast as I can to YouTube so that at least there's that full uncut, whatever. And then I'll, download the videos or whatever and then edit them. And, I don't really take anything out. It's just mostly some of the kind of stuff, or like if there's a long pause or I'll be right back or whatever, I kind of just try to simplify the clips and, get to the good stuff. But yeah, so come on by, hang out, and enjoy. If even if you want to lurk, it doesn't matter. I lurk all the time because I feel bad for some of the streamers that I even have on my auto host list because I just literally don't have time really to sit and chat and communicate like that, like I want to. And that's what I'm trying to build towards as well, is building a community here within not only Twitch, but YouTube and online in general, with everybody involved, and get, associations and get some, involvement with people who are along the same lines as me, and really establish something solid, a good community. So feel free to either share, come and hang out, or whatever, just sit back and watch, and hopefully I'm entertaining you. Hopefully I'm providing some sort of value to your life, just going through and finishing up some stuff. I got open house for my son tomorrow. The beginning of the school year is also quite crazy with everything involved. That was the other part of the last 2 weeks. My oldest son started school 2 weeks ago and went for 2 days, or 3 days, 3 days. Then had 2 days off. And then the following week, which was last week, had 3 days off. Then went to school for the last 2 days. It's really convoluted the way that it's working out this year. But yeah, that was an interesting transition. And then my youngest son has been dying to go to school. His first day was today. And then I just got the little one. She's hanging out in her crib right now, napping. And yeah, a lot of progress last week, a lot of progress the week before. But there's always going to be growth. I'm not going to say there's always going to be changes, because some things will stay obviously consistent if they work. but there's going to be a lot of stuff. You're literally growing with my channel and growing with me, and kind of coming along on my journey as well as helping you with yours. You know what I mean? And that's really the point of what I do, is to get value, to give value, and to try to just bring awareness and bring that kind of elevated mentality. What are you doing, Dunk? Chilling? He's just giving me a look like, what? Yeah. And even all this stuff, I feel like it's my tear. I feel like I should frame it or something. We're going to be redoing the office space here soon. We're going to be getting like a nice new setup. We're going to be building walls. It's in a basement, so we're actually building like a closet and a office space like sectioned out for us. It's going to be a little bit better, a little bit more soundproof, a little bit more professional looking and feeling, and we'll be able to do some lights and some special effects and some cool stuff. So you're really catching me at the bare bones of establishing who my persona on here, and my career with this. So hopefully, like I said, you guys find some value. You guys are interested, have fun, and I can't wait to grow with every one of you guys and meet you guys and hang out and talk and see what's going on, see what's up. Excuse me one second. Sorry, I saw like a little silver dot on this corner of a light fixture that we have. It just looked weird the way it was. Like it looked like a welded piece of metal. So I was like, I've never noticed that. I've never noticed that before. It's sneaking up on me. That's one thing I try to integrate into my streams too. That's a little side hobby of mine, is voice work. I've been talking a lot during this stream, and I haven't drinking nearly enough water, so my voice is starting to get raspy. But I like to play with my voice a lot, and while I'm playing, like I like to try to do some voiceover-y stuff, and I'm actually looking into a couple of projects with that, and being able to use that as a source of income, just in general as a hobby, and hopefully have some fun with that as well. So you guys will see little bits and pieces of that here and there. I'm often told that either my voice is great, or it sounds unique, or it sounds different, and my voice varies. It varies. You'll see it in my clips, my YouTube videos, everything. 1 second I'll be down here, and the next second I'll be like high pitched for what you're used to hearing and whatever, and I'll do all kinds of voices like to imitate video games that I'm playing and stuff like that. So hopefully it'll be a good time. But yeah, trying to think if there's anything I want to do while we're here before the kiddos come home. I was able to actually edit some more screens. I have a starting late screen, a BRB. I got a lot done last week. I got a lot more done than I realized, especially with setting up my streams and stuff like that. I still have to go through Streamlabs and get notifications together and get that kind of stuff together, because I often don't notice with my setup. I have like a TV hooked up to my laptop, and I have my laptop down here, and I'm kind of like getting used to the layout and what works better for me in different situations and stuff. But it's getting there. It's definitely working out, But listen, if you join in the last couple of minutes here, or if you're checking this out later, you're checking this out on YouTube or whatever I put this on, whatever you're seeing it on, thank you guys for coming and hanging out, listening to me talk about everything and what's going on in my head right at this point. It's been a good Mentality Magic Monday. Obviously, when there's more people in here, the goal is to kind of get communication going between everybody and not just talking about like games that I might play or, you know, cards that I might have or whatever, but also to talk about what works for you. And maybe you might bless my life with some information. And, you know, like I said before, it's that kind of relationship that I want to establish with my community and really be involved with everybody. And learn from you guys too. You know, I never go by the belief that I know it all. I am very experienced in everything that I've done and accomplished and whatever, but that doesn't mean that I can't learn. That's far from the truth. Everybody has that potential to learn something. It doesn't matter where you are. You could be 150 years old. I bet there's something that you don't know or that you haven't thought of. So yeah, just come by. Feel free to share. You know, as long as you're cool, as long as you're open-minded and you're good people, you're welcome, you know. But I do think I'm going to end it here. I have to start preparing to, like I said, get the kids up and, you know, get them off the school bus and do all that stuff. And, yeah, so tomorrow will be Try Hard Tuesday. Let me see if I can actually... I don't know. I don't want to stick to like the same game all the time. Like that's something that kills me personally because then I lose interest in the game. You know, obviously if it's something you guys want to see, I have no problem doing it. But, you know, I like to switch it up a little bit. Death Loop. I don't actually have that game. But I do have a bunch of stuff. I have Call of Duty. I have Destiny 2, which I have missed that game. So maybe, but I'm, you know, I could try hard at getting some achievements and stuff like that. I have Battlefront. Battlefront might be pretty cool. I got a couple of games. I got a couple of good ones. I got Overwatch. I got a couple of things. I don't want to also stick with just the like first person shooter stuff. But I find that as my schedule dictates right now, sometimes at night I have time to play. But most of the time it's going to be like when my set schedule is. And I don't really have time to get into a lot of like the in-depth games. Like the most in-depth I've gotten into is Portal 2 and Day of the Tentacle, which have both been a blast. Like I love playing them. But, you know, like some of the heavy storyline games and stuff like that, especially for like streams and videos and such, I like to experience the game and relive it like it's a movie, you know. So I let the cutscenes play out and stuff like that. But it just takes a lot of time, you know. It takes a lot of time up. I actually played Cyberpunk 2077 last Thursday. That's one of the reasons why I didn't go to bed on time. I just took some time for me, took like a mental break from everything, and, you know, was just hanging out. I think I had... I don't know, like a premixed tequila sunrise thing, and I'm not much of a drinker at all, so it was good, you know. When I am a drinker, I do like straight up tequila most of the time, but yeah, it was a good time. I liked the game. I you know, I got into it, but even that, I think I played for like an hour or two, and I barely scratched the surface, you know. So when I'm able to dedicate more time to streaming and more time to, you know, my routines, like if I free up on the weekend, I can do more like, you know, 4, 5, 6, 8 hour streams, whatever. That'll be really cool. It also depends on my client's schedule because my health coaching and things like that might take up some time in the evenings. So I'm trying to allocate time for everything. So you're going to see more variety. You're going to see my stream growing, my community growing. You're going to see new things come in, and, you know, I'll kind of try to keep things updated as much as I possibly can. And that's about it, you know. I'm excited to do this again. I'm excited. I'm ready to get back into the work routine. And, you know, I consider my job at the ER a job, and I consider what I do here, you know, my actual life, my careers, my dreams, my goals, you know. It's not that working in the ER is something I don't like doing, or I it's not, you know, like I fully appreciate what I do. I fully appreciate that even in the darkest moments I can be, you know, a ray of comfort or hope for these animals, and, you know, sometimes for the people as well. And you know, it's it's just mostly a job for me at this point in time because it's not what I aspire to, So I don't know if that sounds good or bad, but it is what it is. 100% honesty is what I have. So, yeah, I hope you guys, found some value in this stream at least. Sorry I didn't break out any of the magic cards or anything. I felt personally, I woke up in a very stressed out mood yesterday. It was one of those days where you literally wake up in a bad mood, and you're not entirely sure why. And then it kind of feels like things just compound one on top of the other, and it was resolved pretty quickly, it's not always 100% of the time that I could just be like, oh, but it resolved quickly. And, I was able to work through things and get myself back together and stuff, and, survive the night. But like I said, I was tired, I was exhausted, I was just I needed talking mental Monday. I needed that. I really thought we were going to get more people out today just because of whatever, but a lot of people are also at work and doing various different things and have different crazy schedules, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, so that's going to be it for today. If you guys have any ideas, want to talk about anything, you want to hit me up for my services again, if you want to hit me up for my services again, I'm going to be restructuring my pricing programs, complete overhaul of everything, and make it a little more fair and balanced and interesting, and make it a little more accessible. I feel like too, the system I have for it, I feel like is a little convoluted. But yeah, it's all in the works. It's all been in the works for a little while. It's coming to a head. It'll be relaunching soon, and it'll be good. But in the meantime, feel free to hit me up. The prices on my websites and stuff are not set in stone. They're going to be changing soon. Like I said, the services are going to be changing soon, and if you're interested, you're interested. So yeah, again, on Twitter, Bal Vitality LLC. Instagram, Facebook, Balancing Vitality LLC, or Joshua Bernstein on LinkedIn. I don't use my LinkedIn that much. I should, I guess. I don't know. To me, it's very annoying. I don't like it. I get a lot of just spam messages of people. I thought it was always the professional version of, social media. But I always get spam messages of people trying to sell me programs and trying to, and I hate that. I don't do that to people. I hate that. I can't stand it. I always get hit up by these, hey, you look like you're interested in this. So, join my school or my training program or my training. And I'm like, I don't have the time for it, So I thought about closing that account down a couple of times just because, but I figured, I don't know, it's better to have it up, I guess, whatever. So, yeah, Joshua Bernstein on LinkedIn. If you go to my Balancing Vitality LLC Instagram, everything's on that link tree or Bitly or whatever I have up there. Yeah, so that's for the health coaching, wellness coaching side of things. And if you want to follow my social media accounts for the streaming, it's Polymathic Dad at TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and Facebook. Sorry, my mind just gave up for a second. So thank you for anybody who did come out and view. I wasn't watching the stream manager as much as I should have been, but it is what it is. Thank you for everybody who was coming out and hanging out, talking to me, and, hopefully having a good time. Thank you to those of you who watch after the stream. If there's a better time for you guys to, if you guys want to hit me up for a better stream time or whatever, I can try to work it out. I could try to see what's happening. I'm open to give it a shot, But yeah, check me out. Follow me. like, comment, subscribe on everything, and have a good time. Overall, stay well.